What's up guys, Proper Truth here. So today you guys are going to be getting my updated Cyberse deck profile. I'm actually falling in love with this deck. I'm not going to lie, like I thought I would be more of a World Challenge player, which I am. I do have the deck and I do love how World Challenge spam and everything. But the way I'm building the Cyberse, it's first of all, it's the protagonist's deck. It's freaking amazing. I feel like eventually a couple sets from now, Cyberse are just going to be one of the best link decks out there. Because they also can spam. As of right now, they can't because we have very limited support from Coda Duelist and Link Strike, I think it's called, the starter deck. So I kind of mixed them both together and added my special tech to it. Like I added specific cards to it just to try to keep it a little bit more competitive. And that's what I was doing pretty much all day yesterday, building this deck for you guys. I ended up testing it and it was keeping up. The only deck it really wasn't trying to keep up against was True Dracos. True Dracos is just too dominant, and it was I only won like one game out of it. So, but the deck other than that is pretty freaking amazing. Like it did pretty well against Zeus. It's just because Zeus really just focus on Dryden, and that's pretty much their play. They rely on him a lot more with Whiptail. But once you clear out that board, they really don't have any more resources after that. So it did pretty well against Zeus. The only one, like I said before, is True Dracos. But before we get to the deck profile, guys, hit that thumbs up if you're a Cyberse fan and you're trying to find a Cyberse deck and you like the deck. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel now for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Let's get straight to the deck profile, guys. Alright guys, here we go. It's the extra deck. So, first up, 3 Drac Connect. Like, this guy, like I said in my first video, he's amazing. He's the tour guy in the set. He's the one that you want to see most of the time, because the moment you normal summon him, you special summon a level 2 or lower null monster from your hand or your deck in defense position. So you'll bring out Bitchtron a lot faster with this. And the reason why I'm going to keep it at 3 is because I'm playing Painful Decision. So I can mill the one out of my deck and add the other one to my hand. And you'll see, I have a lot of different combos in it because of Painful Decision. Alright, next up, 3 backup secretaries. You gotta play 3. Like, the moment you control a Cyberse monster, you special summon her. Instant link summoning right there. It's insane. I was testing her at 2. I think I said that in my last video. I was testing her at 2. I had to bump her up to 3. She's just too good to not play at 3. So Cyber Dragons if you control a Cyberse monster. And then 3 Bitchtron, obviously because of the Drag Connect. And because of Painful Decision and also Swing of Memories. I play Swing of Memories in here as well. So definitely got to play 3 if you're playing 3 Drag Connects. 2 Ram Clouder because it's the Monster Reborn. Like you can, if for an example, if you saw my last video, I play Spell Striker. You can normal summon it, banish a spell, special summon Spell Striker, and it applies effect by tribling Spell Striker to bring back a Cyberse monster right out your graveyard. It could be Firewall, it could be Decode Talker, it could be anybody, Honeybot, and they come back into the main monster zone. So I'm gonna keep it at 2 for now until we get Ram Clouder, I think it is. I think I might do 1 Ram Clouder and 1 Ram Clouder when the structure deck comes out. So right now it's good at 2. 1 Cyberse Wizard, just because, I'll be honest, it's because he's a name. He's a Cyberse, and it's pretty good. I'm sorry about the noise, guys. They're still doing construction outside of my building. But also, I could put a monster in defense mode and do piercing damage. It's just if I select a Cyber monster that does the piercing damage, no other monster can attack. So he's okay. It's like I said, it's just because he's a Cyberse. 1 Salvagent Driver. Salvagent Driver is pretty amazing. Like, when you see my spell lineup later on, you'll see why I'm saying he's amazing. I had him at 2. I did like him at 2, even with his effect still applying. Like, you know, you can only special summon him if a Cyberse Link monster is destroyed by card effect. I was still playing him at 2 because it was still nuts. Like, I would still be able to special summon him, and then, like, if he died, I still had another one in hand. Or if I didn't, I special summon this one right out the grave if another one was to die by a card effect. He can stop you from getting OTK'd, and he's also a Monster Reborn by just pitching a spell card, special summon a Cyberse monster right out your graveyard. So you can bring back, again, like Firewall or Deco Talker or any of them. So one of him, though. One Link Slayer, I was gonna try it out at 2, but I said, you know what, there's so much other support that I can use, especially that I actually changed the whole deck around compared to the first video. I'm gonna keep him at 1 for now. Yeah, he's a Cyber Dragon, aka Twin Twister also, but sometimes you don't want to get rid of 2 cards to pop 2 back rows. It's not like Twin Twister where you discard 1 and pop up to 2. So sometimes it's very optional. So, and I play Gofu also, so if I see Gofu and this in hand, it's very situational. Sometimes it's a dead drawer also. And one Stack Reviver. Stack Reviver I like because you can, the moment you use them as a link material, you can bring back a level 4 lower Cyberse monster out your graveyard, so you can bring him back. And like, let's say if I linked him with 2 other effect monsters, summon Deco Talker, his effect kicks in, bring him out, and then pitch tribute him to bring back Firewall. Like, I've done that before, that's why I'm saying it. But he is pretty cool. He is pretty cool. The only downside is that it's only once per duel. That's the only reason why I'm playing 1. It's just like playing Gold Bulb at 1, just because it's only once per duel. So that's pretty much it for the Cybers. Next up, one Rescue Ferret. Rescue Ferret is pretty cool. You have many different levels in here that you can alternate. It's pretty awesome. Like, so I think he's good. I think in any link deck, like I said before in the other video, he should go in any other link deck other than Tricksters. And even Gokis. Gokis is pretty broken with it. He's pretty broken with Gokis. So just 1. And then 3 Gofus, obvious reasons, because it's instant Deco Talker. You can't go wrong with 3 Gofus. It's a link deck. You should be playing 3 Gofus. 1 Spell Striker, because he's a free special summon. So, like I said before, if I summon Ram Clouder and then banish a spell special summon him, I could tribute him instead of Ram Clouder to bring back a Cyberse monster. Also because he could be a game finisher. He could finish the game for you if your opponent is less than 600 life points. And even, it's just because he could be a link material for like Firewall or Deco Talker. So 1, I play 1. And then Gem Knight Lazarus, because I play the Gem Knight engine, and you'll see the combos off it. Basically, if I go Brilliant Fusion and I send where is he at? Salvaging Driver. That was his name, Salvaging Driver. I send these 2 to the grave. First off, if there's a Bishtron in the grave, I'm gonna get a Bishtron right back to my hand, and he's in the grave because, let's say, like I said before, if somebody like Raigekis your Deco Talker Firewall Dragon, you can bring him out in either defense mode or attack position. He has bigger attack because he's 2200 attack, so it could be a situational thing. So, and that's the reason why it's awesome. I'm glad he's a light monster specifically because of that reason. And then you still go plus if there's a bitch trying to hand, you add it right back to your hand, giving you an extra Cyberse to summon, a normal summon for Seraphonite or any other situation. So I really like that. I didn't see that until one day when I did it. And then now, that's my main tech now is the Kaijus. Me putting the Kaijus in here changed the whole deck around. Like, it's amazing. It gets through a lot of things. Like I said, like zoos, you get through zoos with this. You can even get through, depending on the situation, you can get through True Dracos because you contribute their masterpiece and go off from there. It really depends on the situation, but because me putting the Kaiju engine in it, it really benefit. Like, it really did benefit. It helped the deck a lot. It sped up the deck a lot faster. It's insane. Like, Kaiju's is so broken still, and like, I'm glad they didn't hit them in a way, because they can change the game around. Like, I've seen it. This is all I was doing yesterday, is building this deck profile, building this deck just for you guys, trying to make it competitive, because I realized that a lot of people actually looked at my Cyberse deck profile, and there's people out there who want to build this deck. So I figured I'd throw this type of tech in there, give you guys an idea of how you can somewhat make it competitive. The Kaijus actually make it in a way competitive, because, for an example, you tribute you tribute on Masterpiece. Now they lost a 2950 hitter or a 3250 hitter, depending if he's if Diagram is on board and he's not unaffected by spells. You get rid of that to give him this. And if you have a Kaiju in hand, you special summon a Kaiju. And even if they strike your Kaiju, you still haven't even went off on your Cyberse play yet. So it's so much you can do. Like you tribute Masterpiece, summon this. Then if you have no monsters on board, you special summon Gofu, get your tokens, go off from there. Since they control a Kaiju, special summon your Kaiju. It's so much resources. You summon, for an example, let's say if you tribute Masterpiece and you summon Kaiju on right here, right on where Decode Talker is gonna be. Right now, when you special summon Gofu and you go off, Decode Talker's arrow that's pointing up is pointing to their Kaiju that you gave them. Decode Talker automatically gains 500 attack. Then you still have your Kaiju in hand. Since they control a Kaiju, you special summon a Kaiju right underneath Decode Talker's other arrow. He gains another 500. And that's still you haven't normal summon yet. Like, you still haven't gone off. Like, if you summon Drag Connect, bring out Bishtron, you still could bring out Honeybot into the other arrow, and Decode Talker gets even higher. It's very situational, but it does happen a lot more often than you think. So that's the reason why I'm playing the Kaijus. It's really, I love it with the Kaijus. And if you guys really want to build a Cyberse deck and make it somewhat competitive, I highly suggest play the Kaiju engine. So try it out, guys. See, you know, this is my personal deck profile. I've tried my hardest because I fell in love with this deck. Like, I might actually keep this deck going. Like, I may not even give up on this deck. This may be like my new Synchron deck to go off on, and with my Lightsworn decks to give you guys updated profiles on this. So that's pretty much it for the monster, guys. Next up is the spells. One painful decision, because painful decision gets your Bishtron in the grave, and then you get one to the hand. And then I play Swing of Memories, so you can activate, send the Bishtron, add another Bishtron to your hand, and then you could Swing of Memories the other Bishtron that you just sent, and then go off from there. So just one. I think personally one will be fine, because you're not playing that. You're only playing 3 normal monsters. So one soul charge, just because it's soul charge. You can bring back your stuff, and like go nuts after that. Bring out all your shit and just fucking link and go off. So just like any other deck that's gonna spam. One Upstart Goblin, just for it makes the deck go down to a 39 card deck and quicker to get your resources. Mind Control, because Mind Control, it's Mind Control. You take your opponent's monster, you can link with it. Like, you can go straight into Gaia, the Shadow Lightning, because he's a generic. He's pretty much the Link 3 generic. So you can really go off on this. You can take your opponent's Trident and go off from there. You know, it's a very good card, this format. A lot of people are sleeping on it. I'm starting to see some people pick up on it. Don't sleep on it. Use it. It's amazing, especially if you're doing a Cyberse deck that's pretty much going to be a deck on like some generic links that are coming out. I'm pretty sure in the future you're going to be able to play Cyberse with generic links, like for an example, Firewall. So use it for your Firewall, use it for your Decode Talker, or any generic like Gaia Shadow. 3 Brilliant Fusions. As I said before, I'm playing the Brilliant engine. It works, it helps. I suggest it gives you the Seraphonite gives you the additional normal summon. I highly suggest try it out. And then Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This card, I'm telling you, don't sleep on this, on the Kaijus, guys. I was testing it against a friend yesterday. He did his whole play with the Miss Radiance and the Dryden and all that, and the Brobo and all that stuff. And he didn't draw my body as a shield. He didn't have my body set. And the moment I did Slumber, he lost all his resources. I went off after that. Like, it was just insane. Like, Zeus won't be able to get through that. Like, the moment you clear their board, and if they don't have backup to resource or stop the destruction, they're not coming back after that. Especially if you're going to swarm and go off and OTK them from there. Or even if you don't OTK, you're still doing a lot of damage. So it's funny too, because I did Slumber, and I gave him the spider, and I took the Dragon, I can't pronounce his name, the dinosaur guy, and then I mind control took his spider, and his spider automatically dies because you can't control more than one kaiju. So I cleared his board after that. So it's, and on top of that, by the next turn, this is a rotor. Like, you're gonna banish him and get another kaiju to your hand. So don't sleep on the engine, guys. I'm telling you, it's a good engine in Cyberse. And then the one spring of memories, like I said, I may bump it up to 2. I really don't know, to be honest, because like I said, you're only playing 3 normal monsters in a deck, but it does help. Like, I've seen this. It's actually worked for me more than it doesn't work for me. Like, bringing back the Bitchtron, that one Cyberse, can do a game changer. Like, you bring back that one Bitchtron, then you can special summon backup secretary, and then you banish a spell, special summon spell striker. You still haven't even done your normal summon play. So I may try it at 2, 1 painful decision and 2 swing of memories, just because you're gonna end up linking with the Bitchtron, and then swing of memories is not once per turn. You're gonna keep bringing it back. So I may jump it up to 2. I don't know. Right now it's good at 1. So that's pretty much it for the spells. Off to the traps. The Solemn Brigade, the Solemn family, you can't go wrong. You stop your opponent's effects or summons, and it makes them, and you're going to pay the life, fine, yeah, but they lose their resources, especially with if they're going to tribute summon and summon Masterpiece, you're going to go negate that summon, or they go Dryden, they do their whole zoo play, and then by the time they go Dryden, you're going to strike it or warning it, they lose their resources. Now, yeah, they can come back, but they have to do more now in order for them to come back, and you just stop a lot of stuff with just 1 card, and you still have a hand or a board. So definitely the Solemn family. And then the last 2 cards, Storming Mirror Force, because of the fact that Zeus is a thing, this doesn't really come clutch against Dracos, especially if they have Masterpiece on board and it's unaffected by traps. So sometimes you may want to side it out. But other than that, like against World Challenge, I did it against World Challenge. They attack, you bounce everything back. They're like, fuck, how am I going to get swarmed back? They lost all their resources now, So definitely Storming Mirror Force. I'd rather Storming than, I'd rather this Mirror Force than any other Mirror Force. Simply because now they have to do the extra shit in order for them to bring back the board that you just bounced back. So, and sometimes they may not even be able to come back after applying Storming Mirror Force. So, like, my brother is, he proxied on the Volets. It's very hard for Volets. Once they swarm the board and they go you go Storming Mirror Force, it's very hard for them to come back. Same thing with World Chalice. Sometimes against Zeus is very situational, but it does help. So, 2 Stormings. So that's pretty much it for the main deck, guys. It's 40 main. Off to the extra deck. Yusaku token. 3 Firewall Dragons. Obviously, it's the protagonist's deck. You see fire. You summon Firewall Dragon in this deck a lot more than you think. There's times when I've actually summoned 2 at the same time, and it actually helps. So I may drop him down to 2. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. Maybe when we get Circuit Break or when the structure deck comes out, he's definitely will be dropped down to 2 and put like Tri-Gate Wizard or something. So for now, 3 Firewalls. 1 Topologic Bomber. He can come clutch sometimes. Really depends on the situation, because there's many combos with him. If you're playing back to the front, yeah, that works with him as well. But the fact that you can stop your opponent's play, like for an example with Zeus, if you play your cards right and you force the Dryden's effect and then you bring him out, like for an example, I brought him out, like my opponent kind of misplayed in a way, because I summoned Drag Connect, and then I applied the effect, he popped it. Obviously you still get the effect for for Draconet, because he, you know, the moment he's normal summon, you're gonna special summon. You special summon Bitchtron right here, and you blow up the board. Bitchtron is gonna go too, but still, you wiped out their resources. Or if you have him on board and you swing a memories and bring back Bitchtron, you're still blowing up board, but you're getting rid of their resources. And so, one is fine. To be honest, one is just fine. He's an awesome card this format. On top of that, he's a 3,000 hitter with a Flame Wingman's effect. You can't go wrong. One Gaia Saber, because he's a generic 3. He's not, the arrows is what's very important, especially the side arrows. So just one of him. 2 Deco Talkers. It's a Cyberse deck, plus you play Gofu. He is very clutch in this deck. I summon him a lot more than I do with Firewall, to be honest. He is just insane. This guy is amazing. You negate anything that targets cards on your board, and he can get beefy. He can like freaking get really high in attack that it becomes a problem, especially if he has materials on him that gives you, like, for an example, you're gonna negate and pop anything that targets him or anything on board. It becomes a problem. He is a problem, especially this format. 2 Honeybot, because Honeybot is amazing in a Cyberse deck. She's amazing. If whoever she's pointing to, they can't target them or be destroyed by battle. You can't go wrong with that. Like, they can't. If you have Firewall and her together, it's hilarious because they can't target Firewall. Yeah, Firewall can still bounce. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty freaking amazing. I like Honeybot in this deck. And then another tech I'm trying out is Ib, the World Childless Priestess. There is different attributes in here that you will come across, and I think she is amazing in this deck because all you need is 2 monsters with different types and attributes, and that's not hard to do in this deck. And she also gives you markers to the right and left that gives you an extra deck summon if you have the materials. She is awesome, and believe it or not, I had these 2 together in this deck on the board at once while I was playing this deck, and it was very hard for them to get over it. So just because she's a World Chalice card does not mean that she has to be in a World Chalice deck. This girl is broken in this deck as well. It's hilarious with her and Honeybot together. Oh my goodness, it's freaking funny, I'm telling you. So try it out, guys. The World Chalice Priestess is broken in this deck too. 1 Miss Radiant, just because it's Miss Radiant. I may take out Miss Radiant. I'm not too sure. Possibly put another Gaia Saber, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But Miss Radiance does come clutch, especially if I have 2 Earths and I ran out of Link Spiders. I can just like go Miss Radiance and I still open up board. So Miss Radiance is very situational, but I play 1, see how it works. I might take him out. I'm not too sure. 2 Link Spiders because of the Gofu play, also the Miss Radiant. So, and you play Bitchtron. Bitchtron, if you have 2 Bitchtrons on your hand, you can normal summon the Bitchtron, Link summon for the Link Spider, special summon the other one out your hand, and swing of memories the other one. I'm telling you, Link Spider has to be played in here. He's a Cyberse also, so you can't go wrong. And then last but not least, 1 Gem Knight Seraphonite. Seraphonite, because of the Brilliant Engine, obviously, just like I told you, the combos with, and an additional normal summon. So that's pretty much it for the extra deck, guys. My side deck, I was having a hard time with the side deck. Like, it's really situational depending what you're going up against, because now that Link's out, people are playing World Chalice, playing True Draco, Zoos, sometimes mirror matches and Cyberse. So Blue Eyes is becoming a thing again. So the side deck is very situational, but let's get straight to it. I'm playing the Cephion, the Time Lord. I can never say her name. Obviously when you summon her, and if she battled, I shuffle all spells and traps that my opponent controls back into the deck. Awesome card, especially against Zoos. I mean not Zoos, Trues. Tag, bounce everything back. Even though they can search it again, it still can help. Anything that has heavy back row, she can help. And then let's say if you summon her, your opponent has to think twice now. If they have back row and they have warning back there, they have to think twice about either warning her or warning whatever the hell you're gonna do. Because if I summon her and you warning her, I'm gonna go off with Gofu. So she's awesome. So just 2 Denkos. Denko, I don't know, I was gonna try 3 right now. 2, 4. Hold on a second, guys. 2, 4. Next up, 2 Dankos. I was gonna try 3 out, but I don't know. I like her at 2. I was thinking about putting 2 anti-spells just because of her as well, but right now I only have 13 in the extra deck because I don't own Ash or Cherry. So I was gonna debate either putting 2 Ashes or 2 Cherries. You guys tell me what you think. Should I put 2 Ashes or 2 Cherries? But I don't own them right now. Until I get them, that's gonna be the last 2 cards. One of those 2 cards are gonna go in there. So it's either that, it's either the Cherry or the Ash, or maybe even anti-spell. So you guys tell me what you guys think. But 2 Dankos. Ghost Org, because Ghost Org is broken in this format. You stop a lot of plays, a lot of people's plays, especially in a mirror match or even World Chalice, Zoos. You stop everything in this format because of Ghost Org. 2 Eater of the Millions. This guy is freaking awesome. Like, I've seen a lot of people use it as well, and I said, you know what? Let me try it out. You can't go wrong. Yeah, you're gonna be banishing. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you're gonna be banishing cards out of your pretty much anywhere. It could be from your hand, field, or extra deck into face down. And then he gains 100 attack and defense for each face down banished card. So imagine this with Desires. And then if like while he's face up on the field, you can't tribute him nor use him as a material for any of the like fusion, synchro, or exceed, but he can be linked material. He could be a link material. And then at the start of the damage step, if he battles if he battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that monster. So it's funny because you can go up against if Masterpiece is not unaffected by monsters, banish him, get rid of him, get rid of his resources. You can also force your opponent to get rid of a Trident, because the moment you summon Trident, they're either gonna pop him or you're gonna run into him, and you're gonna banish the Trident. So he's awesome. Like, you can't go wrong. It's a special summon as well, even if you're banishing, so you could be link material. So 2 of him. Off to the side deck spells, 2 Cosmic Cyclones, because it's Cosmic Cyclones, you're gonna get rid of back row. You gotta get rid of back row that's gonna threat, especially Zoos and Trues, and sometimes I've seen World Chalice play back row. Get rid of it. Yeah, it's gonna cost you 1,000, but it's well worth it, especially if you're gonna go off that turn. 1 Raigeki for destruction. I was gonna main it along with the Slumbers, but I was like, I think Slumbers is fine. If I'm playing against World Chalice or anything that swarms or light swarms, I'll side it in. So I might put 2 Dark Holes in side deck as well, but I will have to rearrange the whole side deck, so I'm not too sure. But 1 Raigeki. And then the last 2 cards, 2 Forbidden Chalice, obviously for negating stuff on board or increasing your monster's attack to get over something your opponent has. But it's well worth it, especially like I said, against Trident or against Brawl Bull. Anybody who's going to be a threat to you, get rid of it. You negate the effect. It's a good card, this format. I won't sleep on it. So that's pretty much it for the entire deck profile, guys. You know, like I said, I only have 13 in the side deck. You guys can if you own Ash or if you own Cherry, I suggest you put those 2 in it. Or put 2 Cherries or 2 Ash, up to you guys, because especially against like True Dracos, you want to stop them from searching. Same thing with Zoos or Cherries to get rid of the Trident. You know, anything you gotta when you play with Cherry, you have to rearrange your whole extra deck. So you have to be careful when you put in there. I'm going more for Ash to stop the searching, or anything that's going to be special summon from the deck, like against light swarms. Or if you want, you can put the 2 anti-spells. You can put the 2 anti-spells for because you're playing your side deck in Danko, and that slows down a lot of decks as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you for watching. Later. So there you guys have it. That was my updated Cyberse deck profile. Tell me what you guys think about it, because if you guys saw my first Cyberse deck profile, it's completely different. Like, I tried making it as more like spamming links on my first deck profile, when this one is more like clearing your board and then spamming with the kaijus and all that. You know, especially if you're playing up against Masterpiece, you know, you're gonna tribute Masterpiece and you're gonna go off from there. So, and that was my personal tech. I even added the Brilliant engine into it just to get the additional normal summon from Seraphonite and getting the cards dumped into there. I try to make it a little bit like competitive in a way. It's just really difficult because like I said earlier in the video, we don't have so much support until like we're gonna get more support in Circuit Break, and then every set we're gonna get support for Cyberse. It's the protagonist's deck. And it's pretty freaking broken. Like, I was pretty impressed from what it did against Zoos and somewhat against True Dracos. But like I said, True Dracos is just too dominant right now. So, if you guys enjoyed the deck profile, again, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed for more UVO content. Share the video, share the channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you guys at the next video. Later.